G'day whisky lovers, welcome to the Hard Malt. My name's Tim and I have a bit of a bonus video for you all today. I'm going to call it part of my general whisky knowledge series, and I'm going to offer my thoughts on how to set up a whisky tasting flight. Now personally, when I'm hosting a whisky night or a whisky tasting gathering, I'm all about the theatrics, so I have a few different options of tasting paddle that I've collected over the years. This one holds 4 glasses, as you can see. I also have the caps for the caps or lids for the Glencairn glasses. So if anybody wants to sort of take small sips through the flight and perhaps come back to one later on, they can just chuck the cap back on and nothing bad's going to happen to the whisky. Now, when it comes to actually choosing the whiskies for the tasting, which is often my favourite part of the day, there's several ways to go about it. There's no real right or wrong way to do it. Personally, what I generally try to do is I like to start with a pretty easygoing kind of whisky and then work towards something more challenging or something richer, perhaps. So I'll present a bit of a sample lineup, if you like, and give my thoughts on it. So for a starter, what I've picked is a Glencairn 10-year-old. Glencairn's from Speyside. Typically a lot of sherry whiskies come from Speyside. This one is actually just ex-bourbon. 10 years old, as I said, 46% unchill filtered natural colour. And this one, for a 10-year-old, actually drinks really smoothly, really easy to sip. It's completely unchallenging. Not that it doesn't have some really interesting flavours in there, but this is one that you could perhaps even share with somebody who's a bit more of a whisky beginner, and I'm sure they would really enjoy it. But for me, this is what I call a perfect starter. It doesn't challenge you too much. It's smooth, just wets your palate, gets your palate and taste buds awake and ready for what's to come. So that's my starter. Now, next up, I've picked out the Glencairn 12-year-old. Now this one we're still at 46%, and this one is 70% ex-bourbon matured and 30% ex-sherry matured. So we're starting to introduce a little bit different flavour, but it's far from being over the top in sherry, this particular bottle of Glencairn. It's again, it's very easy to drink. It's quite a step up from the Glencairn 10-year-old in flavour-wise, I suppose. But it's so easy to drink, very tasty, and it's the next best thing to happen in Springbank. Now, so for the third in the lineup, I've picked out a 16-year-old single cask release of which is secretly Highland Park, and this one is released by Anchor Independent Bottler for the whisky list, and it is bottled at 53.8%, 16 years, as I said. And this one is very much ex-bourbon. It's definitely what you expect from a ex-bourbon Highland Park. It's very rich. It flows on this particular theme quite nicely, and I do like to have themes quite often with my whiskey lineups, whether it be all ex-bourbon, all sherry bombs perhaps, or all peated whiskies. And I'll share a couple of more lineups in the future, give you guys some different ideas. But so far, this one is looking very good. And for the last one in this particular lineup, a whisky which I just reviewed recently, the Whisky Sponge Ben Nevis 10-year-old. And for me, this is a perfect whisky to end this lineup. We've gone from something very almost delicate, wouldn't say simple, but just very easy to drink. We're starting to build up some bit of flavour with the Kilkerran 12-year-old. We're heading for the richness with the 16-year-old Secret Highland Park, and then we are going for all kinds of flavours with the Whisky Sponge Ben Nevis 10-year-old. So for me, that is quite a good lineup, and very similar to one I did recently. The only one missing from that particular lineup was a bottle of Ben Rummock, which my malt mate brought over for that particular tasting, so I don't have that one with me. But there we have it. That's my thoughts on how to set up a whisky tasting flight. Welcome all you guys to pop your comments and suggestions, recommendations in the comments, and if you like this kind of video and would like me to do a few more, and then give me a like and give us a thumbs up. Until next time, Slán Dravá.